Okay, had some thoughts I wanted to share today. Let me just pull some scriptures up. And normally when I'm making a video, God doesn't. He allows me to just title it based on the information that I'm sharing. And this is the second video that I'm doing today, and it's titled, Can You Keep a Secret? He said, title it, Can You Keep a Secret? And God is just so strategic, because that I think that, when he titles it in a way that it's going to draw people's interest, and they will click and they will listen and they will learn the lesson. So, can you keep a secret? Okay. The first scripture I want to share is in Mark. Well, I think they are all in Mark except for one, maybe. The first one is Mark 1, verse 34. And he healed many that were sick of divers diseases, and cast out many devils, and suffered not the devils to speak, because they knew him. Okay. This scripture kind of jumps out at me. It was the first scripture that kind of jumped out at me, and I knew this needed to be a topic, because I've seen deliverance. I've seen videos of deliverance where, demons are speaking and all that kind of stuff. But this is something different, because as Jesus went about teaching and preaching with the disciples and sending them out and telling them greater works than these they will do, and the rest of us will do as well, this particular situation kind of is a red flag. It should make you think, why did he suffer not the devils to speak? So he suffered not the devils to speak because things have to happen in God's timing and God's order. You've read scriptures where demons were like, Jesus I know, and this one I know, but who are you? We don't want, he did not want things to be revealed before it's time. Okay? Let me just say that before I read the next scripture, which is Mark 5, verse 40 and 43. And if you're following along, you want to highlight these, even if you're using the Bible app, highlight them so that you can go back to them and just reflect on what the Lord is saying here. Okay, and they laughed him to scorn. This is Jesus coming to raise the young girl from the dead. So he arrived at the house, and they laughed him to scorn, I guess the people who were standing around. But when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entered in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand, and said unto her, Talitha cumi, which is being interpreted, Damsel, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. And they were astonished with great astonishment. And he charged them straitly that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given to her to eat. So this is Jesus doing another miracle. He raised her from the dead, and he instructed those to not tell, because it wasn't the time yet for people to know. Mark 7. And then I'll get into it. I just have two more scriptures. Mark 7, verse 32 to 36. And they bring unto him one that was deaf, and had an impediment in his speech, and they beseech him to put his hand upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, and put his fingers in his ears, and he spit and touched his tongue, and looked up to heaven. He sighed and said unto him, Ephathata, that is, be opened. And straightway his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain. And he charged them, again, he's charging them, that they should tell no man, but the more he charged them, so much more a great deal they published. And the last one was when who was it? Was it Peter? Peter and James were with Jesus at the Mount of Transfiguration, Mark 9:9. And as they came down from the mountain, he charged them that they should tell no man what they had seen till the Son of Man were risen from the dead. And they had actually seen him transfigure. His garments just become a glowing white. And here's the thing. What the Lord is saying here is that in terms of me teaching this today is that one, and there are several points. One, we talk too much. Sometimes